Have you ever found yourself freezing when everyone else feels totally fine? Or just completely wiped out, even after a full 8 hours of sleep? Well, those feelings might not be so random after all. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the tiny but powerful gland that could be sending you these signals, your thyroid. Let's start with that chill, right? It's not about the weather. It's that kind of cold that seems to come from deep inside your bones. It's a really specific clue your body might be giving you, so let's unpack that first. And then there's the exhaustion. And I'm not talking about just being a little sleepy. This is that deep, heavy fatigue that makes even the simplest things feel like climbing a mountain. And finally, that frustrating brain fog. Where your thoughts feel like they are moving through molasses and the right word is always just out of reach. If any of this is starting to sound way too familiar, you're definitely in the right place. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by meeting your body's master regulator. Then we'll connect the science to those symptoms we just talked about. After that, we'll look at some potential causes and wrap it all up by learning how to actually read the signals your body is sending. All right, let's get into it. It's time to meet the main character in this whole story, your thyroid gland. The easiest way to think about it, it's like the central thermostat for your entire body, basically controlling the speed of, everything. So you've got this small, butterfly-shaped gland right at the base of your neck. Its main job is to produce two really important hormones, T4 and T3. And you can think of these hormones as little messengers that travel to every single cell in your body, delivering one critical instruction: how fast or how slow to operate. And when I say its influence is huge, I'm not kidding. It's in charge of your metabolism, your body temperature, your energy levels, your heart rate, even your brain function, digestion, mood, you name it. It truly has a hand in pretty much every critical system that keeps you up and running. So what happens when that thermostat we talked about gets turned way down? Well, that condition has a name: hypothyroidism. It's basically when the thyroid becomes underactive, and the result is that your body's entire operating system just shifts into slow mode. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's really connect the dots. We're going to look at exactly how a sluggish thyroid leads to those super frustrating feelings of being cold, tired, and foggy. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures that deep internal chill. It's a feeling that so many people with thyroid issues find really hard to describe because it has absolutely nothing to do with how warm the room is. So, what's the science behind it? It's actually pretty simple. Your thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, tell your cells how much energy to burn for fuel. When those hormone levels are low, your little cellular furnaces get turned way down. And when you burn less energy, you produce less heat. It's straight up physiology. Your body is literally running at a lower temperature. This right here is the classic description of thyroid fatigue. It's a tiredness that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel earned, and no matter how much you sleep or rest, it just doesn't seem to go away. And the reason for this deep fatigue is happening at the microscopic level. See, with low thyroid hormones, your cells have a really hard time converting the food you eat into what's called ATP. That's the main energy currency for your body. So you're basically running on a low battery, and your body is forced into this low power mode just to conserve what little energy it can make. And what about that brain fog? It's probably one of the most dismissed symptoms out there. People blame it on getting older or not sleeping well. But the truth is, your brain is an incredibly hungry organ for thyroid hormones. They are essential for sharp thinking, for memory, for focus. When they're in short supply, your whole cognitive engine just slows right down. Weight is a perfect example of the thyroid's power. With an underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, your metabolism slows to a crawl. You burn fewer calories, and it becomes much easier to gain weight. On the flip side, an overactive thyroid, hyperthyroidism, can crank your metabolism into overdrive, leading to rapid weight loss. It all comes down to the speed set by those hormones. But the thyroid's reach doesn't stop there. Not even close. It has a huge impact on your mood by influencing key brain chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. It regulates your digestion, so a slow thyroid often means a slow gut, and it even controls how fast your cells regenerate, which is why dry skin, brittle nails, and even hair loss are also really common signs. So this all leads to the big question, right? Why? Why does the system slow down to begin with? Let's play detective for a minute and look at some of the most common reasons and triggers behind hypothyroidism. Now, the number one cause of an underactive thyroid, by a long shot, is an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's. That's where your own immune system gets confused and mistakenly attacks your thyroid gland. But other things can definitely play a role too. Things like not getting enough key nutrients, being under chronic stress for a long time, big hormonal shifts like pregnancy, and even the health of your gut. Okay, so now that we have all this information, what's the next step? In this last section, we're going to shift from just understanding the problem to actually taking action. This is all about learning how to listen to and interpret the messages your body is sending you. So if you're looking at this list right now and just consistently nodding your head, if that feeling of being cold, the low energy, the brain fog, and these other signs just aren't going away, it might really be worth having a conversation with a healthcare professional. And to really get a full picture of what's going on, a doctor might suggest what's called a comprehensive panel. This usually includes testing your TSH, that's a signal from your brain to your thyroid, as well as your actual free hormone levels, T4 and T3. And checking for something called thyroid antibodies can also help see if an autoimmune issue is at play. And look, while getting professional guidance is absolutely key, there are also some really powerful habits that can support your overall thyroid health. Things like eating a diet rich in key nutrients, getting a handle on chronic stress, prioritizing good sleep, and supporting your gut health, which is where a lot of the magic happens in converting your hormones, can all make a huge difference. I really want to leave you with this idea, because if you take one thing away from our chat today, let it be this. These symptoms, the cold, the fatigue, the fog, they are not signs that your body is broken or failing you. They are sophisticated signals. It's your body's way of communicating that something is out of balance. These are messages, not mistakes. And once you start to learn the language, you can begin to finally understand what your body truly needs. So the real question I'll leave you with is this: what is your body trying to tell you?